on a Saturday at the Flux Lora Hackathon. I'm stoked to bring you 15 phenomenal Flux Hackathon projects. Let's give a huge round of applause for all our shippers. We're going to watch presentations created today of AI product photo shoots, of ideas Potpourri, multiple attempts to train Loras on various concepts, generating images in the style of Escher's lithographies. What a deep concept. Instagram extensions that generate images of people from Instagram, merging Instagram with Lora. The Instagram of Lora's, perhaps. Turning a word into a logo generation from Miles. Social proof on dating apps. Ooh, Bilzerian. Whew, dangerous man. Pokemon reinforcement learning training. DeepSeek 2 generating AI 3D. AI in 3D, that's fucking epic. Thank you.
With Flux corgi.cam.
Okay, legendary.
Of course.
Brand creative engines to create ads. The combination of Flux Lora and ControlNet for architectural renderings in style. Self-recorded video for training. Seeing yourself in movie posters. Using linear models and ranking systems to elicit user preferences for generative content. The things you've seen at Jamari Wyatt parties. See what that looks like. WIP work in progress. AI Instagram photos. Exactly Jeremy Dixon's idea, but about as far as I got from Ernst Young. AI generate pictures of yourself with another haircut. Haircut AI simulator. And finally, people repping products by audio. Okay, yeah, apparently in the last minute, we've jumped from 15 projects to 17, so I guess things will continue to grow. Basic process for presentations. It's going to be a 5-minute limit on the presentation, so do appeal. Try to launch your project on Twitter during your presentation or before. If you want to launch now and add your tweet to the Slack, it can also accumulate momentum. But there are several prizes for the size of your reach on your launch. So strongly encouraged to tweet. If you do tweet, please do @mention in your presentation FAL, AGI House, and Replicate. AGI House SF specifically. Yeah, if you choose not to tweet your project, you should have some good reason for it. It's too taboo or something. But let's try to get everything out there and at risk of winning a huge distribution award. So it'll be fun. Okay, and then I guess, are there any questions? Does anyone have any specific requests or strange scenarios we might be doing?
Requests or strange scenarios?
Yeah, if you need the audience to get in a group photo or some, I don't know, something. So I have a request. Is there anyone here who has a public Instagram account with a bunch of their photos in it?
I'll volunteer.
Oh, you
What?
Shit.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, corgi.
Corgi. Okay, both should work actually. So great, yeah, one of Swix or corgi. When we're presenting, come up with your computer to present for us with our software. Okay, and with that, 3, 2, 1. Rob with AI product photo shoots. You are up. Ideas Potpourri, you are on deck. Let's hear it for Rob.
Thank you. The constant question, is Loom gonna work? So far, so good. Okay, hi everyone, my name's Robert, and today I worked on creating AI-powered e-commerce photo shoots. Mostly trained Lora with Replicate and FAL AI. So really found 3 techniques here are most useful for e-commerce brands. There's trade-offs to each of them in terms of their flexibility, their power, and their reliability. The simplest is generating backgrounds. So this effectively, is a pretty simple workflow of remove background and then in-paint. And HairStyle AI has an awesome visual workflow and Comfy UI integration as well for creating this. Pretty simple to do, and it's really useful for things like my friend has a company called the Hennessssy Sign Company, and they make physical signs out in the world. And on the left here is a hideous photograph of the actual location that their sign exists in the world. It's like this terrible strip mall, and we can regenerate this with a lovely sunset view. And so that's the application here. There's only one photo of this sign on their website. It's not really the kind of thing you can Lora that would be really helpful. And so just plain in-painting a new background is really effective here. So that's the first method. It's the easiest, but the least flexible, right? It's not super cool or interesting. The second is by far, so this is another example. So Thierry Scan, another one of my friends, is running this YC-backed skincare startup. They have this background list photo. We can put these products on a page. Virtual try-on, definitely the coolest, not really accessible in an API format and not easy to implement. Colors recently gained some traction for doing this really, really well. So this is an example. You just take a photo of somebody, give this image, and then like wonderful model quality photograph here. So that's awesome, but limited utility, especially useful in fashion. So then this is what I did the most of today was Lora fine tuning. This is great if you have enough photos of your products. And that's really the limitation for a lot of e-commerce brands, especially small and growing ones. They don't have 20 high quality photos from various angles and dimensions of their iPad cases or their AirPod cases or things like that. Sometimes it works great. Like Allbirds was awesome. Like I was even able to do some virtual try on with this Lora only technique. But it's hard to productize this right now because like sometimes, if you give a user just a prompt box, they're gonna, you still get some gore. Like this is just so uncomfortable to look at. Can you imagine signing up for a product or service and you go in and you're like, great, I'm gonna generate a photo shoot for my tool, and this is what you see, nightmare fuel. So we didn't make any money today yet. I'll let you know by the end. We trained 4 models with a variety of techniques, both the background removal and in-painting for the generative backgrounds, and then the Loras for the product images. But the future is bright. So I think a really cool path to take this is integrating with Shopify. The user experience being, I run a small Shopify brand, I can input the link to my website, we can identify all the products that you have, recommend models to train for each product and the kind of method, like if there's enough images to do a fine tune, or if you're gonna basically be stuck with the background removal, which is still a really nice technique, and really focusing on the e-commerce physical product applications of this, and especially once this kind of experience can be easier to build, easier to achieve, and it's not like kind of a state-of-the-art closed source. I don't even think they have an API for this tool right now. It's colors. You guys probably saw this. The Kawaii colors, super cool, but not broadly accessible. So that's what I worked on today. My name's Robert. Thanks for listening.
Questions for Robert?
Like, what types of features would you bundle this to make it appealing to a brand? Because it's all business development when it comes to working with them.
Yeah, it's a great question. So how we're thinking about this is adding AI Photoshoots as a feature to a promotional email generator. So if you're an e-commerce brand, we're gonna create HTML, copy, and visual assets for you in an email template that you can send with Klaviyo, Shopify, etc. Kind of creating these really nice e-commerce emails the way Midjourney creates AI images. Or Gamma.app, awesome product, creates this slideshow that I made today. So I see this maybe even as a feature. It can also for sure be a standalone product. You can see a good product that is doing this today is, what's the name of it? Flare AI is a pretty good example. And then EverArt as well. They're doing these for a variety of
Cool.
things. So you can take a look at what they're doing for like good features to add in addition to it. Cool, any other questions?
Have you looked at the competition of Shopify? Like, is it already overrun with plugins? Like, what do you think is like missing there?
I think I haven't found anything that's super focused on Shopify, and honestly, even the top tools here, like Flare and EverArt, in my opinion, are a little technical in their user experience. The friends that I have who are doing these solopreneur e-commerce focus, they need a higher level. They don't want to even know that there's a model involved.
Yeah.
You know, they want an experience of like, oh, I'm doing an AI photo shoot.
I think Shopify is pretty good.
Yeah, their AI photo shoot features.
No, just as a go-to-market, like, there's a plugin.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Appreciate that. We hope so. Cool. Anybody else?
I think that's all we have.
It's okay.
Thanks, everyone.
AI product photo shoots. Hey, that's how to do photo shoots for e-commerce projects. What about multiple attempts to run Lora on various concepts? We have ideas and commentary by Emil. Let's hear from Emil.
Alright. So first of all, regarding the current state of virtual try-on and colors, here's how it works. Yeah, just a fun thing. So yeah, regarding my ideas and what is the Potpourri I'm talking about today. So first of all, I would like to say thank you for the Replicate and File AI. I was initially thinking that I need to actually set up the AWS with Koya SS on this to train Loras, and eventually I figured out that I can train not just one model but 15 models in a matter of minutes on different platforms with different settings. This is good. Thank you very much. So first idea, I have 4 of them, influential artists. For example, El Greco. So as Somerset Maugham said, once a painter has captured something in their work, it can change how viewers perceive this. So if the painter wants to draw a grass in blue color, eventually we will see it in blue color. So the idea was to train a model on images of El Greco from 17th century. Here are the examples that I passed to a neural network, and this is what I received when I tried to generate a kitchen table with dramatic light, or it is actually a picture of El Greco of an epic battle in Costco, which is not really a Costco. This is also convertible color by El Greco. It's not that. But this one is close, yeah, and the prompt for that, the picture of El Greco is showing a cat that suffered as Christ did. So yeah, and another picture of a bottle. Yeah, the first idea. The next one is the pets. So AI So did you know that AI photos are extremely boring, unless you see what you've desired the most? And people desire to see their dead animals alive. So here's the Instagram of a cat. This is my friend's cat, and it died many years ago. I was training neural network with this since last year, and today I also prepared some stuff with this. Oh, not that. Not that. Sorry about that. Okay, going back here. So here's the data set. You've seen the Instagram page, and this what we can generate with that. So it's a full band of cats playing some stuff on a piano, on drums, etc. And I actually showed it to the owner of this cat, and he said, "Ha ha ha! This is great. How did you do that?" And I said it is replicated. Yeah, so it is the second idea. The third one is the Telegram stickers. How can we extend and probably personalize the set of stickers that we can use in the chat app, like this. So here's the Cookie Monster. You can install this sticker and use to send a friend. Yeah, and if we train a model on top of it, we will receive something like this. Here's the data set again, and this one is generated. This one is generated as well. This one is too, and yeah, this one is also generated. It looks weird a little bit. And even though not only Cookie Monster but Elmo as well. Yeah, and some other feedback. What do you think about which image is generated and which one was drawn by hand? And people say that this one is generated, but in reality the right one is generated. And the last idea I tried today is the text. We know that Flux model can generate text well, but can we extend this capability by passing some text signs, neon signs? Can we generate better neon signs? In reality, so this one is different. For the previous one, I was using just tokens and auto text generation, like GPT-4 for foliate and Lava for replicate. Here I pass my own captions with dataset, and this is what the network can generate. It's not very good, with or without handwritten captions. Okay. And the last but not least, shamelessly promoting myself. So if anyone, this is the third time I'm here, and I would like to connect you with you, fellow hackers. Thank you very much. Is there any questions regarding any of the previous ideas?
Why do you think the Cookie Monster one worked quite well? Do you think it's the simplicity of the sticker asset?
Yeah, I think the simplicity of the asset and the Flux model itself, if we take a vanilla model, it can generate stickers as well, very well. Very well, and even though it knows the concept of Telegram sticker, so it can generate a full bundle of it. Yeah. And yeah, one last thing regarding the cat. So this one was done with the Stable Diffusion 1.5 a year ago. So here are the results. It's still on par, I mean, but the Flux is better. Okay, that's it, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that was ideas commentary. Alessandro, generating images in the style of Escher's lithographies. Let's hear it for Alessandro.
Not sure it's gonna work. You also have HDMI?
Oh, of course, yeah, you just take it off.
Take it off.
Nice. Yeah. Right. Alright. So yeah, didn't make any time to build a cool presentation, but I have the website. So the idea is Escher traveled a bit all around Europe and painted some of the southern Italian cities and also a lot of the Netherlands where he was from. So some of his paintings that are more famous are these. The waterfall, which is this impossible.
Yeah, we know it.
Yeah, impossible painting. Yeah,
So famous.
very famous one. Then there is relativity, which is this impossible staircase that goes any direction. But these are all like very, very weird and tricky paintings, but he also made a series of lithographies that were just cities and landscapes, so just realistic lithographies. So what I tried to do was just create any of these with new prompts in his style. And when I tried it on the base model, it didn't work. So that's why I decided to try and make it. So if I just tried on the base Flux, if I just said, I don't know, Colosseum, in the style of Escher, it will not really follow the style that I had in mind. It just makes some kind of pop art graphics, not really what Escher looks like in my mind. So what I built is this Lora that basically is a two-step process. First, it just creates an image of what you're prompting, and then on top of the image that you have, it does image to image with the Lora that I trained on very few shot Escher paintings, lithographies. So just 9 of them. So let's say I tried saying the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, and this is what I got, or the Colosseum, and that's what came out. So if anyone has anything that you'd like to try, anyone has any suggestions for prompt?
The Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see what happens. It's mostly for architecture, so. Okay, yeah. So. Can you show it full screen? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not too bad. Anything else you wanna try?
Impossible staircase.
Well, possible.
How about impossible Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah, that's right.
Possible Golden Gate Wall.
Let's see. No,
It's too possible.
completely, yeah, totally possible. Impossible Golden Gate.
What if you just define like non-Euclidean geometry? Will it understand to generate impossible?
I guess, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, try putting in prompt engineering on parentheses non-Euclidean geometry.
Okay.
Let's see.
In parentheses.
I think
So
that,
that is complete.
actually, does anyone know if you add parentheses, does it prioritize it, or is that just for a different, is that just for SD?
I actually asked this exact question
Oh.
to the FAL guys, and
Yeah.
they said it was SD.
Oh, so you don't need the parentheses, maybe get rid of that, it might confuse it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait.
No, this is just a gate.
Or maybe try again without the parentheses.
Oh, because you didn't put bridge after gate?
Oh, you didn't put the
Yeah.
yeah.
Golden Gate
Yeah,
Bridge.
yeah.
Okay.
Golden Gate.
Otherwise, it's just.
True. Yeah, this is just. Okay, let's make a bridge.
While we wait, like any
Whoa.
learnings, what else are you inspired to do?
What?
Learnings or what else are you inspired to do after this?
Well, yeah, for sure. There's work to be done to keep the style,
Consistent.
because basically every once in a while it doesn't follow the style. So it means it's only like accidentally doing this, but maybe there should be something to constrain it to look at very small portions of the image. So only to look after how it's painted and not change the subject. Because right now, in this case, it's not being changed because the Golden Gate has a very specific silhouette. But the moment you do it on like any buildings, then they always look like Escher's buildings. It's like I tried saying Tokyo or Times Square, and then it always goes back to like the actual the Dutch cities that were in the data set. So like if you say Times Square, it will not be recognizable as Times Square. Like no big displays, nothing special. Besides one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just. So yeah, I guess it was very simple attempt. At least it worked somehow. Any questions?
Yeah.
That was the Escher-ifier. Up is MakeMe by Jeremy Nixon and Sankeerth.
That's you.
Use Instagram to generate images of the person in profile, creating a Lora for every public Instagram account. Okay, that's me. Yeah, I request that Flux join us on stage.
Wait, what? Oh god.
We'll bring your computer actually. You'll be presenting.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so the idea here is really simple. A lot of people have public Instagram profiles, and it's kind of annoying to use FAL. Like you have to have some technical knowledge, you have to call it API. Most people don't have technical knowledge, but they can go to a website and plug in their Instagram account.
Sure.
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
So-
I just realized I have a lot of video.
Okay. Well,
I
if
have
you have
some- I have some
images,
images,
if there's
yeah.
some images,
Yeah,
it should be
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have Swix kick it off. Please, Swix, go to makeme.life. And no HTTPS. Okay, simple request. Enter your Instagram handle and anything that you would like to become. Okay, so Swix for the corgi.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if that actually will work.
It should be functional.
I
Okay.
could.
Yeah, because it's Flux on the,
Oh,
yeah. You
There we go.
can also add Superman and other Elon Musk.
Okay, so it's processing. Awesome, thank you, Swix. We can come back after.
Okay.
But, keep it.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be
gonna take a
for
while.
like 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so.
Interesting.
So we're gonna walk you through what is happening in real time right now. So as we speak, an InstaLoRA call on our server is dumping all of Swix's public Instagram data
Wow.
into a folder.
Wow.
You can watch it happening at real time. So, proxy. Oh, I see. It's happening on. Okay. Okay. So it's working. Oh, there's Swix. Okay, so 50 seconds ago, this folder called Swix.xio was generated on our server. If we open it, we'll get an example of Swix's food life, Swix's shielding portfolio. Oh no.
Is that? Are those things I posted?
Okay.
Oh
Swix.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
This might save us. So we do have a photo of Swix. We are going to be training Loras on these data points. Obviously, we want to do a people filter.
I switched the video.
So like it's people.
Okay, with the people filtration. So there's some hope to be fair,
Okay.
that will pick you up. Basically, it's obviously possible to do people filtration with a vision model and do sort of isolation of the face with segmentation. We didn't get through all that complex stuff, but what we did do is basically turn this into a data source for the FAL API. So if you haven't tried it, FAL lets you create Loras via API. You don't have to go through the process we went through this morning. You can just write some Python code that takes a zip file on your server, sends it to FAL, and they will train a custom Lora that you can call via a string. And so, cue example and process. Oh, so you probably want to go back one, right? So this is FAL site. Typically, once the data's been collected on server, we'll kick off the job, and you can see the progress it's making. So 1 minute ago, we actually started the training of the Swix Lora, and we are at 30%. So it seems like we're going to get an image at the minimum.
This is an error occurred.
Oh no! Okay. Apparently on Swix's end we have an error, but on our end, do we have a saved image of the photo? I'm sorry. Will we have a saved photo?
Use the previously trained model, right?
Anyway. We have a saved image. Will it be saved in on disk?
Like the previous
It'll probably be attached to the. You can click on the model, right? Okay. Sorry about the error. Did you read that?
No.
Oh.
You want me to?
I think it's probably fine because if you query it again, it'll try to download the data. I'm not sure how the error handling is there. So hopefully we'll get an image on our system. Regardless, we'll get a Swix Lora one way or the other, and we'll be able to query that Swix Lora from FAL AI in worst case. So
Yeah. I'm sure it's just.
Some snafu.
Generating really fast, actually. What's your data size for the zip file?
So we actually just grab 10 photographs and send them to FAL. If we do more, a combination of getting rate limited by Instagram will happen, and like the number of data points you need to train is not that high, but we definitely can go higher than that.
You should have done Corgi.
Corgi, sure. Yeah, Corgi has an Instagram.
Yeah, she has an API too,
Corgi. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can do some of the code share. So basically, so this is like the sort of secret sauce that we put together today. So we had to work our way around a bunch of Instagram issues where they blocked our IP address.
Oh shit, you're
And so we're currently scraping through 12 proxies. Which is why if you look at our spreadsheet, we requested that you not use the app so that our proxies don't get banned.
So we can use your proxies afterwards.
After you feel free to use the proxies. And so basically we have a simple process for downloading the images from Instagram. We use what's called InstaLoRA. If you've not used InstaLoRA, it's this really helpful tool. You can just download the Python package, InstaLoRA.InstaLoRA, and you hand it the Instagram handle, in this case of Swix, which came from our front end, and it will download data to the place that you requested to download data to. And then we have this zipping process to create a nice little zip file for ourselves, which we send to FAL. So this FAL Lora call trains the Lora model on FAL. And FAL actually just has a pretty simple interface. They take your zip file from disk, and then you submit it to this argument set called Flux Lora Fast Training, give it a multiplier, sound, trigger word, and it kicks that off, and then eventually it returns you the URL of the new Lora that you've created so that you can use it for a generation. And then finally, we generate an image given the foul model. And so we have a pretty simple function call that takes in, the Lora in question, feeds it to the Lora path, takes the prompt that the user happened to give us, and in this case, we kind of hard-coded a portrait size 4:3 for the image, but it'll grab that response, turn it into a Web3, save it to an image path, and then return that image path to the front end, which will show, ostensibly Swix, the image of him with a corgi. So let's see if our Lora is complete. Okay, awesome. So Lora completed, and we should be able to also see previous instances. So
with the corgi.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the best prompt.
Let's see how it goes. So the question is, did Swix get captured? Actually, yes, I'm recording that.
Wait, is that the token, Singaporean man?
You kind of have to direct it.
Like
Singaporean man.
Yeah, don't you have to pick a token?
Yeah,
and you
So it's
do the
test.
Lora?
It's test.
Oh, test.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little too generic.
Man with the corgi.
You should
Wow.
just use at Swix as the token, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have done.
Because I think that test is very confusing as a general word.
Yeah, there's a lot of meanings.
That's not a man. I don't think that's a man.
Okay. Let's drop the carry.
Yeah, drop the corgi. Do something else.
Yeah.
Wait, I know that image. I put in, I tried out MakeMe.life, and that woman is from that Instagram account.
Oh.
So I might have.
Oh wait, this is not.
Yeah.
Oh you! Oh yeah. Oh, 6 minutes versus 8 minutes. Okay.
Messing everything.
So, but that was the woman that you put in.
So yeah.
Was that the woman that you
Oh, it was working. Okay.
Yeah.
So he kept going
It
to
was
that
working.
woman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The corgi test. Corgi bench.
Can you actually do Lora for
Okay.
a lump set?
Singaporean.
Yeah, okay.
What?
Oh, you misspelled it.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
well,
gonna be
let's
roughly
do
right.
that, okay.
Well, we got one hit, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, and thanks a lot to Tal for the fast training process. This was unimaginable to me before, that you could, in a 5-minute presentation.
Yeah.
And then future basically is, we're gonna make it so that it's really easy to aggregate public handles, and so people can use this website to make images of anyone who has a public Instagram account really quickly. So.
You should check out proxycurl.com to actually do the instead of setting up your own little proxy ones, it'll handle all I don't know what they figured out so that they can scrape any social media for. I mean, it's a paid thing, but it's really
That's huge.
yeah.
That's a great. Yeah, actually I hadn't dealt with the problem before, so good sense. Any last question?
Another feature is, what if you want to have the actual corgi cam with any person? So can you have multiple Instagram handles? Can it I guess that's the
Oh,
question.
with all corgis.
I guess
all corgi accounts?
No, as in so right now there's one handle. What if you want to do say 2 separate, say, celebrities or known figures? And so the question is, can Flux can it take 2 tokens? And so both of them are recognizable figures. Does that make sense?
So it can. It'll try to make it look like both people. And that can sometimes be good, sometimes not be good.
But you would have to retrain the Flux with 2 separate tokens.
So what you can do is you can actually inpaint the photographs and use one Lora
Oh,
at a
you just
time
use
to
inpainting
create
as
a version of with both of
Got it. I
them.
was wondering if there's a
Yeah.
way to somehow combine n different tokens into a single Flux. I guess that's more of whether the Flux model supports that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really want that to be able to do that.
That'll be kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That was MakeMe. Instagram that generates images of the person in profile. Hey guys, can we get some signs? Up is Word Logo by Miles Wiesenthal. Turn a word to a logo. Let's hear it from us. Woo!
All right, thank you. All right, so this is a very simple website for the common use case when you have something and it's an idea, it's a hackathon project. In fact, I've sent some of logos for y'all's hackathon projects, and if you want one for your own, just go to wordlogo.me, a $3 domain, and type in your name. So we could do one for AGI House. And if you've ever noticed, a lot of logos are just words, you know, and they look good. So if you want a logo that's a word that looks pretty good, then here you go. You can change the size all the way up to 512, down to 64. It saves as transparent, which is very convenient for a lot of purposes. And yeah, how this works is I just like labeled a data set like with logos labeled to the word that they are, all on a white background, and this made it just a lot more reliable at generating like white backgrounds that can easily be made transparent. And you can also, I also labeled them with like colors, so we could try, someone say a color.
Purple.
Purple, okay. We use violet, not the crayon invented, whatever. And we can also select icon or not. Generating it with icon tends to be more buggy, but let's say we send it. Boom. Okay, so one of these is strange, but yeah, this one's pretty cool, I think. Kind of neat. This one's very like regal looking. I like that A.
It's usable.
Yeah. Any other?
Corgi's outside, is that okay?
Anyone want a logo? Corgi?
Corgi.cam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should have seen that, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to try it.
.cam. Okay, we'll need to do that. Oh, that's kind of like fresh right there. Yeah, the icon tends to like make things a little funky. That just adds to the prompt. Corgi, like, let's make it orange corgi, right? .cam. Yeah, this works on mobile. It's yeah, just simple. There you go, corgi.cam. Any of these you like? This one?
Definitely not Comic Sans.
Not well, none of these are actually real fonts.
It looks like Comic Sans, I guess, yeah. Like a fuzzy Comic Sans.
Yeah.
Can you do like in the
Yeah.
style of the Google logo or in the style of Yahoo logo or something?
Yeah, so let me just like prompt inject this really quick. Well, actually, there's gonna be a quote before this. There's gonna be a quote. Whatever. Honestly, it should probably work if I just do this style of Yahoo.
How do the brackets work?
Yeah, how do the brackets work?
Brackets do things. Is that in the style of Yahoo?
Not,
Well, it's Yahoo's purple.
yeah. I think they use a serif font, I think. They changed it. Did it change? I guess there's sans serif.
Yeah, and obviously you could tell that I couldn't decide on my own logo, so I just had it rotate. That kind of looks like Yahoo. Kind of. Maybe it's just purple. Anyways, feel free to use it up until my Val credits run out. That's my any questions? Questions? Anyone want to see the code?
Yeah, I guess I'm really curious about labeling.
Yeah.
You manually labeled all the images with .txt files?
Yeah, it was only so Val API allows you to add this like type of file. So you can see these basically the file names. There's a little file that you add to, rather than like using their prompts that they use to like label the images, right? Like this basic prompt, and then I basically like replicate that style. So to choose the color, it's basically like that. Yeah, so it's not that many. I just like, so what I did was I went to like Harvey.ai just because I knew that they have like a simple logo, and then I like screenshot this and then I labeled it, and then I screenshot all of these, and then I just like created a chain. I went to like one of their websites. I just created a chain to get like a short data set. I mean, it works on so few datas, and I'm sure with like a bit more, it would be even better. So yeah, I tried fine tuning a few times, and just like the fourth time was like kind of the best subjectively. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, that was the word logo. Up is Bilzerian.ai.
Can we play the Bilzerian
Show
song?
your social proof on dating apps. Let's hear it from Bilzerian.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Yes, I'm going to present you this little hack called Bilzerian AI. So in case you don't know who Bilzerian is, that's this guy. So as you can see, he attracts a lot of girls. And maybe one of the things that attracts girls might be that he's rich, but one of the things is that he's also attracting other girls. And so I was thinking it might be fun to for you to go on dating apps, but with photographs of you with other girls. So that's pre-selection, and this is guaranteeing you more dates. So in case you don't see here, don't apply to me, I'm married, but this definitely works. So here, I just input, I'm not fine tuning on me, but I face swap with like a Lora fine tuned model that generates Dan Bilzerian type of pictures. So I'm going to explain how I did this. So the first step is, okay, I don't want to be fine tuning for every user because it's going to be expensive. So I'm only fine tuning one Lora on Dan Bilzerian pictures. So I basically went online, took a few photographs of him with girls, and fine tuned the Lora. After that, I tried two approaches. The first one was to segment like the man in the photo, and then try to in-paint it. So I didn't find any image conditioning in painting, so I was doing French guy, so it would replace me. So that's how I actually got this. No, this is not like this one. But yeah, that was not really personalized. And then I asked, sorry, I forgot your name, the file guy, but he mentioned that face swap was like really a thing, and so I found some models on Replicate that did that, and this is like what this gives you. So it's not exactly me. Maybe I can launch like one run. Jeremy, is it okay if I do you? I
do it, sure.
Okay, cool.
Bilzerian.
Yes.
You already have the data.
Yeah, I tried for you. I also put some prompt. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to continue.
Don't show my wife.
Are you?
No.
And yeah, I was using fast HTML first time today, so that was quite
Jeremy
easy.
Hard Channel.
Yeah, so this is like what it gets you with Donald Trump. Like the face is not perfect. It gives you like a weird bird. And yeah, so like let's see what it gives
Yeah,
you.
like Dan has this beard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So here, I must say the file is like super fast. So like what takes time is actually the face swap. Almost there.
How fast is the replicate model?
Replicate is like probably 1 second or 2, I think. So like here I'm going to show you what the image looks like because there's a weird bug with the rendering now. And this is what you get. So like in the prompt was, the prompt was like a group of girls in front of the Eiffel Tower. So it kind of looked like you.
The expression from the photo is similar.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a pretty distant face swap.
That's all. If this can go like viral, maybe I'd buy the domain name. It's really it's cheap. It's like $70 a year. So. Yeah.
You'll need a logo.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for me.
Any questions for Bilzerian.ai? So I guess I'm curious, what does the version of this that really works look like in your mind? Maybe more expensive, maybe trickier, but like every time it, bangs out a solid Bilzerian-esque photo of you that you can actually use for your social media proof.
So like the ideal product would be you put in some context where you will be, so maybe sitting in a bar or something, then you would upload like certain photos of you, and the results will be like almost as good as what you would get with if you fine tune the Lora on your pictures. So instead of like fine tuning on those pictures, we just want to condition the diffusion process on those. But I didn't find any model doing that on Replicate. So
okay, so I guess like specifically, how do you overcome the problem where when you tune a Lora on yourself, all the girls in the photo will also be made to try to look like you?
Yeah, that's a fair point. I guess like specifying like the special tokens or like for use on the images would probably like not perturbate the other people. But yeah, one thing I tried was like masking the man on the picture. So I guess that was like a good way to avoid like if you segment the image first and then apply the diffusion process on only those pixels, that's one way to avoid that.
Yeah, I think you could do a replace. That makes sense. Sorry, I was just curious because this is a big actual issue. Any other questions for Bilzerian? All right, thank you. Okay, that was social proof on dating apps. Up is James Hennessssy with PokemonRLPhotoboof.
Alright, so this is an extension of something I've been working on for a little bit with some people. So it's called PokemonRL. The goal is to use, let's just go if I plug it in.
Sure.
Yeah. The goal is to use artificial intelligence to create an agent on a neural network or for reinforcement learning policy to play Pokemon all the way through. And we have a couple of issues with it, which is one, that if you run it in real time, it takes forever to train, so you can speed up the frame rate a bit. But if you speed it up too much, then you lose a lot of important information, and it goes back in terms of like training it as an agent policy for it. So my thought today is, it'd be great if we had a bunch of synthetic data for this, in terms of basically like Squirrel fighting like a Zapdos somewhere, what to do with that, because right now, the farthest we get is the Cerulean City, which is pretty good going through it, but it's the sort of thing of like, if we could fine-tune a model to understand what it sees and be able to create a bunch of that, like switching the Pokemon, switching that, just basically screen capping it for everything and doing that, we could train, as opposed to like a policy agent, like something with a neural network, maybe a bit faster to like help on the side for that. So what I did is, easily what we do is like right now we have a bunch of data that's already like screenshot with labels and annotations for it that we have already with like just the world state of when it's taken. So I tried fine tuning that on whatchamacall this, and then I had the idea of like oh, we can also use this data to sort of make beautiful graphics for like a GBA game in a way of like, you don't have to remake it, but at the same time you can make it like something more beautiful for like maybe the user would like. Or thinking of it in a way of like, if you're playing any regular game, train the model on that art style and being able like, oh, this is a very specific moment the user would love to capture and have it in a very epic and specific way. And you're training in those two ways. So let's just see. So like every 50 steps in the training policy, we try to create something with it. Let's just go through it. As you can see, you can sort of see some stuff for it. They use tags. Sometimes it gets really good with like, there we go, enemy Weedle use poison sting. It gets some of the enemy stuff very, very well. For it, it sometimes does well, that does poorly in the background. It's not putting a loading screen. This is it for it. I almost have too much information here in terms of this. Like, oh, go for it. And then some more artsy stuff as we go through it. I spent 6 level 18. Honestly, don't know what's going to happen whenever I open these, to be honest. Just FYI. Some cool blue stuff. That probably went bad. But yeah, that is a lot of it. That basically trying to teach it to build a lot of synthetic data, so we could build some sort of like synthetic data generator to sort of speed stuff up around here. It is a lot of work to get the intricacies of it, but we get like some sort of things. Like for some reason, it loves the actual attacks. It can't spell anything else, like Squiddill over here. But whenever it has that in big bold text, which it honestly like surprises me. But yeah, there's almost like too much good art style over here. And again, the only thing that we do is like every 50 steps, we ask it to take a picture, go through a model that I try to train to like accurately describe what's going on, have that as a label annotation, and then put that back through Lora and like fine tune it based on that. What is this squirrel over here? But yeah, so yeah, that's what I worked on. It's not too complicated based on everything I went through, but it was really interesting to do. I'm gonna put all these up on the GitHub, by the way, all the output pictures. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you.
But how close are we to generative Pokemon?
Let's see.
Yeah, the United States government would never allow it to happen, or the Japanese government. I think I think that would be like a really fun thing, like a Pokemon generator of AI, because you could probably get a thing of just like everyday object, turn that into a Pokemon.
Part of me is like, I want to play Pokemon Red via a generative model that like takes each next step as like a thing it generates an image for.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I don't know if you saw the Doom example. Did you see the Doom?
I did not. Put that in the chat. I would love to see that.
Actually, type it into Google Game Engine. Oh, died.
Hold on.
Pulled out the cord.
Oh, they see mine.
Let me try it one more time.
Okay.
But yeah, not too much with that. I just pulled it out. Just as soon as I thought it was done, but it's not going. But I'll check that out. Google Game Engine Doom. All right. Any other questions? Yeah. See the GitHub to see all the images we generate for it, and thank you.
A blast from the past. That was PokemonRLPhotoboof.
Thank you.
Up, we have AI 3D corgi cam. With all you got. Let's hear it for Yosun.
let's just jump straight to the live demo here. What would you like? What version of corgi.cam? Like on a skateboard, in Mars, whatever. As you probably have seen in this Slack, you know, Cam Corgi now has her own Flux model on both Replicate and Fell, which means that you can do image to 3D. For fun, as a challenge, I wanted to see if we can generate a Vision OS app, like fully have everything generated by DeepSeek 2. And so my collaborator is my Corgi and an AI known as DeepSeek 2. Okay, so what would you know, what kind of AI 3D would you, I guess let's begin with the Flux image that you want to create image 3D with. What would you guys like to create? Oh, Cam Corgi, of course, yeah. Sorry, am I blocking you guys? I keep looking into that.
No, you're good.
Was that? Okay, okay, yeah, okay.
Favorite movie setting, anyone?
Inception.
How about Dune?
Dune.
Cam
Corgi and Dune.
Corgi
Alessandro.
Yeah.
in Doom.
She usually typing in the
Sorry, D-U-N-E for Dune.
It's usually D-U-N-E.
We're running into an issue right now with,
D-U-N-E.
sorry, this is that, there's
Oh,
so much
it's
right now,
voice
so I'll
thing.
just
You
type
can't
it.
type it.
Also, it's a little dark, so.
Come on, Apple.
Okay,
Tim Apple.
let's restart this. Corgi, anything else? Can't put in Doom.
With blue eyes.
With
Dune.
Dune. D-U.
Dune, oh Dune, okay, I was like Doom,
Yeah, with
okay.
blue eyes, yeah.
I mean, a Dune movie, I guess, I don't know. Does Flux know about Dune movie?
We'll see.
Try Dune the movie.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's just see what happens, I guess, is out of curiosity. Well, there's a Dune. So let's add in the spice eyes, with blue eyes, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And a trust fund.
Corgi with, I'll just do blue eyes, just I guess. I'm not sure if, I have not really tried using Flux to do that kind of, you know, because it's trained on her images and she doesn't have blue eyes. Nah, I don't know. Does that, I wonder because it's trained on her images. By the way, this is actually a full 3D model. I'm gonna just drag it here and make sure I'm not blocking that. So that means that I can, like, you know, see it. Well, this is a weirdly weird image, and so the movie is really bad actually. So, I mean, what about she's like on some sort of interesting, you know, in a different pose or something, or like say if she's like on a skateboard or interesting machine or any other.
Skateboard.
On a skateboard, okay.
And an F-22.
I think that if it's recognized by that, okay, it's a skateboard, and then so this is using Stability API, which is generating it in seconds, and so this is actually a full 3D model. So this is the corgi.cam Flux, and the image 3D is set to Stability API, and dude, check it out. It seems to understand. I mean, it's a corgi, so it went for a default no tail corgi, but Cam Corgi has a tail. Is it, what was it, an F22 or?
Sure.
Okay,
That's
sure.
Raptor.
Yeah.
Wait, in a skateboard, wait, is this,
No,
sorry,
no,
what is an F22? Is that a skateboard or is it like
It's a fighter jet.
Oh, it's a fighter jet, okay, cool. Alright, so we actually did a bunch of steampunk, she's like in a steampunk jet before. That was like, sorry, this is like low. I usually like type with a keyboard, but because I'm streaming it to my computer, I can't really stream the keyboard here. Bluetooth, Cam Corgi in a fighter jet.
Yeah, it's 22.
Let's see, I found that it doesn't have the vocabulary of SD 1.5. So like I was trying to get it to do like Picasso and it wasn't really getting Picasso. So I wonder if it recognizes the F22. F22, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Or
And
F-22 Raptor if you really want to.
okay, if that doesn't work, we'll try well. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fighter jet F-22, so Oh, is that it?
That is enough 22.
Check it out, man. And so by default, we can actually apply better materials, but just if you're curious to see the geometry, this shiny material shows, it's definitely AI3D has like come a lot in the last, year or so, but there's definitely still some improvements in these APIs out there. But of course, this is all stuff that can be fixed in post-process. But yeah, this is actually fully generated by AI, and the image of the corgi is also generated by, this is just like, AI is creating like, apps in the future, I guess, yeah. But yeah, this is actually a full 3D hologram, and of course I can do all kinds of stuff with it. I can like say, talk to it, whatever you want to do with a 3D version of it, have it animate whatever. But just as like the experiment was basically, can DeepSeek 2 generate a VisionOS AI 3D app? And of course, it's Flux corgi, cam, and then the image to 3D, feasibility 3D, and just to kind of collaborate with AI in a very short time frame to see what would happen. Yeah, this is if you have Vision Pro, feel free to DM me I'll drop the Xcode. But you can also actually just run this yourself too. Actually, just kind of grab the DeepSeek generated code and just actually, now have your own native Vision, Unity Vision OS app that. It's a volume for now, but it could also be, in different forms. Yeah, cool. Any questions?
How do you do the 3D with Flux, or will you be able to eventually?
Yeah, I think that just because this is basically all dynamic, as in if you want to not have a AI 3D camcorder app, like if you want like an AI 3D Jeremy Nixon app, right? So the first step that you guys showed on the felt thing, so we'll just have some sort of where you submit like say 10 images or say an Instagram handle, and you just like have the model select 10 random images. And so that step, my experience with training is that it takes like 20 minutes to train, and so I feel like for like a 2-minute demo, you skip that step. But what's really nice is that these APIs are there, you just like send in 10 images, and then within, 5 to 20 minutes, you get an endpoint, which I've been calling, the corgi version of that is corgi.cam-flux, or cam-corgi-flux, and kind of permute, I guess, her name, and it's confusing. But yeah, this effectively could start with, insert your Instagram handle, or say, select 10 images of whatever, and also insert a token. So in this case, our token is cam corgi. And then it basically could be a hologram generator of like anyone, like anything, or whatever, you can have Flux Lora rather recognize from like ever many images. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And then I have a question. You said you dropped Xcode. I know you said you used Unity. Is the Xcode going to be basically the Unity version?
No, the Xcode doesn't require Unity. So I could drop the Xcode to you with the caveat that, I have the API key hard-coded into it, and then, and then you could like play with it until I decide to kill the API keys, I guess, yeah.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
How do we find you? On the internet?
Great question. I'm Yosun. Let's see, what's the best way to, if I disconnect on this, maybe? Sorry, I'm on a beta Vision OS, which means that I'm like getting used to new kinds of HCI. Usually I'm used to like using something else, I think. Okay, great. Great question. Where is? Okay, everything's like resized. That's corgi. Okay. Okay. I'm just Yosun. Feel free to DM me. I'm also. I'm basically Yosun everywhere unless somehow I didn't know about it. So I'm also Yosun on LinkedIn.
I'm not on Instagram, but my corgi's on Instagram. She's corgi.cam, I guess. And she has her own API, but it's kind of, it got DDoS, so we'll fix that soon. Add Cloudflare to it, right? Okay, different hackathon. But yeah, and Yosun, feel free to, send you the, Xcode and you can play on your Vision Pro. Or actually the test file might be easier too, depending on, cool. Oh, you can't see what I'm seeing right now. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
That's it. All right, thank you.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, that was AI 3D corgi cam. Up is InstaLoRA, brand creative engine to create ads. By Kunal. Let's see.
Sweet. Well, I'm Kunal. This is CT, and together we were working on using Lora to help brands create better creative. Before, at the beginning of the hackathon, I was talking about how there are a number of brands that have really strong brand identities. Nike with bold fonts and colors, inciting action and courage. Jeep, another really great one, a very pro-America brand that goes for liberty, strength, reliability, durability, readiness for the wilderness, the desert, so on. Another one, the example I used earlier was Saucony and running shoes and so on. So the big problem these brands have is that they spend all of this time putting their brand identity into their creative, and they get stale all the time. And it's a slow and laborious process to create more of them. So the app we created, also works on Instagram like some of the other projects you saw today. So a lot of that, we're not going to demo that part because it works the way you would expect it. It pulls in a lot of what you see on an Instagram page, and it creates new material. So we have some of the outputs here to show you guys. So we got some Jeep ads, and you'll notice there's a lot of text. So one of the things we were worried about, but you could see different types of Jeeps with different text. And this is what we use to fine tune our Flux more. No, none of this is generated. These are all the inputs. And then what you get is fleets of Jeeps, more fleets, in a safari adventure, a close-up on a desert. This one I believe is in a mountain range, running away from monsters, flying in the air, on Mars. So it performs quite well. You have the actual Jeep product that it captures quite well, and it puts it in a variety of environments that make it pretty interesting. There are some limitations, which CT is going to get into in a moment, but we can actually zoom in on creating new ones here. And let's see, does, in an ocean, let's see what we get here. There we go. Anyone have any examples you want to try out here?
On a sandworm.
On a sandworm, hell yeah.
Doing things, okay?
2 Jeeps crashing.
Two Jeeps crashing.
On a sandworm.
Okay. Got the sand right. So one of the things that's kind of funny that we realized is it has the same problem as when you project a face onto a picture with 2 people, in which it projects it onto both. If you have a Jeep and another car, it'll think both of them are Jeeps. Let's see.
In the crowd.
Okay, some confusion there.
Average of 35 feet.
So I guess it's like an average of a Jeep between a Ferrari and
That's a BMW.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. Not bad. Okay, let's see. Racing
It's very
a cyber truck.
Monster
Yeah. What the fuck?
Okay. Not so much with the Cybertruck. And then here's one more example. You have Huel, another brand that's a little bit lesser known. Maybe there's less pictures of Huel on the internet, and then of course there's text. So you can see here's like one of the limitation cases in which it's a little bit harder. Okay, better. Yeah, not pixel perfect. Clearly, like the letters are a little bit mixed up, and that's not his mouth he's pouring that into. Okay, interesting because we got exactly this image a couple times before. It thinks this glass of beer is a Huel.
Is Huel a brand or something?
Yes. It's like Soylent. It's like
oh,
Soylent.
try using quotes maybe.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
Not perfect, but you know, you see some containers that are kind of like their powder product, essentially. Sweet. So that's all we have for the demo. Do you want to go into some of the observations here?
Yeah, so we tried training with multiple people in the same picture, and as Jeremy mentioned before, it was kind of merging the two subjects together into like a merged person, like a weird baby situation. And we also found that it works a lot better with particular vibe. So if it's an Instagram page for a photographer that doesn't have any text but a generic theme with a lot of color corrected filters, then that's where it really shines. And if it's a generic object, say a ceramic cup shop, it can actually generate new varieties of the cup without losing any of being really creative and keeping all the details. So that's what we found really useful. So I think in the future, what we're planning on doing is actually creating an AI agent that can maintain a Instagram page automatically for these shop owners, so it can not only produce all of these images automatically, but as the new products come in, they don't have to redo photo shoots and hire
people's jobs this?
Something like fandom accounts would be extremely easy to entirely automate, to post regularly, to post a bunch of captions, to have different variations of photos. So things like this that previously required like quite a bit of attention.
Also, if you're a celebrity, because it works really well with one person fine-tuned, then that celebrity can just put their social media account on automation mode. Don't have to do any extra work.
Okay.
Sweet. That's all.
Did
Thank
you
guys.
Did you tweet this or no?
We have not tweeted it yet.
We have a prize for tweeting, and then I realized I need to look for tweeters.
wait, how do we access the video of the recording?
It will be up on YouTube by tomorrow. But
Oh,
it won't be up
because then we
tonight
could
for
just
the-
retweet the segment, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to ask a friend what video you're using while you're presenting, then that works.
Yeah.
Or someone video you. Feel free. Okay, thank you.
Alright.
Your spot is taken.
Your spot is taken.
Okay, that was InstaLoRA. Up next is automated architectural illustrations, combining Flux, Lora, and image-to-image for architectural renderings in a specific style. Let's hear it from Clarence.
Alright, hello guys. Let me pull up the site that I need to show people here. Alright. Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Clarence, de facto head of AI for Potpourri, Generative AI design studio for. Sorry, the presentation's not working right now. Trying to figure out what to do.
Is it? Oh, HDMI not found. That's weird. Let me just have an HDMI. Probably better.
Want to share it?
Oh yes, yes. So yeah, recently we've been working with a pretty famous architectural and urban planning illustrator. He's basically done all of these illustrations by hand, which has taken him all of these probably combined for multiple months of work. And we're working with him to help automate a process to help him complete projects more quickly in his unique style. So yeah, currently this is our platform right now. This is what we've been able to get right now, even without training Lora's. But yeah, you have to set up a reference image, and you have to tweak all of these parameters here, and you have to the model is still based on SDXL, so the prompt understanding is somewhat inferior to Flux at the moment. But right now, if we just go to Flux, and yeah, we trained a bunch of, we trained a Lora with just dumping a sample of all these images, right? So you can see like, it's like several hundred images of his, that we just dumped into Lora training, Lora training run, and here we got outputs here, and yeah, so even without using strict control guidance, we've been able to get pretty good results just through running let me see, image to image on some realistic photos here to 0.5 to replicate his style pretty reliably. Let's see where it is. Export. I gotta get the Lora URL. Make the scale up. So yeah, we're generating 4 different images, so the customers can pick between different alternative outputs. And if you zoom into these images, you can see that the style has been transferred over, even with the low mutation strength. Image, what was it? Yeah, low image alteration strength, and yeah, still retains the major elements of the composition. Yeah, and also we have some other use cases here. Here's with another rendering, another street shot view of exterior street scene, which is, this is the original. This, where this is what we can produce today with current bespoke setup. And after these, this is actually a photo of the kitchen scene right over there. Yeah, so we've been able to also re-render it in this guy's unique style. So if he also wants to expand into interior, he can simply talk to us, get a license to work with the model, and then people can, his clients can upload photos of what they're thinking about, or photos or drawings of what they want, and then he can go transfer it to his own style and make money that way. Any questions?
Any tips to training on styles other than faces or individual objects?
You usually have to have a larger number of images to capture a style. So let's see, what we did here with the prompting is, okay, go back. Yeah, what we did here with the prompting is, just use the trigger word, OHW watercolor, and sort of a super category to help align the token, to align the final hidden embedding with the distribution that the model expects. And also, it's just, it simply works the best when you have a large number of images available. Actually, if you don't, otherwise, if you just have one or two images and you want to copy the style, you can just use a reference, image reference, which works really well with Stable Diffusion, other UNet type models, but runs into some memory issues with the newest double stream diffusion transformers like Flux. Yeah. So I'm thinking about workarounds to that right now. Yeah, that are efficient and can be done in a single forward pass without any back propagation, which takes up extra memory. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Hey, Jeremy, you're up again.
Yeah.
Wow, what a cool kid. Okay, that was automated architectural illustrations. Up is generative preference elicitation via regression ranking. Jeremy Nixon. Let's hear it for Jeremy. So first and foremost, I think that this hackathon is very complex, but there's just a very basic truth about these models. You can make anyone anything. That's crazy in a really basic way. So my tweet is about this. And I'll show you something very technical and cool in a moment, but basically thanks for Replicate, it's not easy for anybody to become a fitness model. I've always wanted to be a fitness model. It is now trivial for me to use ranking to auto-sort through thousands of perspective images, and I'll be presenting about this. But basically, if you also want to become a fitness model, please feel free to converse and engage. And if anything interesting comes up with the presentation I'm about to show you, do feel free to discuss it publicly around this tweet. Great. Welcome to Generative Preference Elicitation via Regression Ranking. So I have a very cool setup for you. Basically, the idea is you want to, in this case, do generative fitness modeling, but you could do anything. I've built a system that makes it easy for you to go from thousands or tens of thousands of photos to just the best. And this is the key to very efficiently creating a really high quality set of models. So you'll find that Flux is still kind of iffy in terms of its quality and reliability, and especially these Loras can be very hit or miss. Sometimes the object that you want isn't even in the photo. But you can actually solve this by training a model over clip embeddings of your generative images, and I'll show you how to do that. But basically the way it works is it's a simple interface where you just rank on a scale of 1 to 10 the quality of the images that you're getting, and where you basically do a clip embedding of the image set, and then rank the scores. Use the current rank to show you the overall scores as a function of their scores. So actually, it's tricky to see, so I'll point it out. This is like image ranking for, in this case, fashion models. There's a current rank here which comes out of a linear regression algorithm, saying that this is the highest ranked image that does not have an explicit score. And this is the second highest ranked image as a function of the existing ranking set. So you get some rankings, and then you take hundreds or thousands of images, and you sort them, and the ones that come to the top of the sorted order have kind of crystallized your intuition for what the scores should look like, for what quality means in this context. So to jump into the code, you can define entire spaces of models. So in this case, I described 6 different kind of backgrounds or ethnicities, black people, and then I have settings, so in this case, 15 different settings. And this delineates a space, which is 6 by 15 of settings and races. I delineate outfits, so everything from the tailored 3-piece suit and the designer tuxedo to stylish winter layers or a summer linen suit. So these are basically 30 distinct outfits that can show you a full space of possible types of clothing that your model could be wearing. And then there are types. So the fitness model at top, because that's what I was interested in primarily, but the award-winning actor, the renowned artist, the charismatic politician. So all of these are basically types of people. Some of them are jobs, but some of them are other sort of roles in society, which will alter the massive space of images which we're going to be generating in parallel with Lora, right? And then we call replicate in parallel. This is actually very, very powerful. So the fact that it's an API creates a very different paradigm from stable diffusion. So you may be used to Comfy UI or used to automatic 1-on-1, where you're running the model on your own machine. But as soon as you're up on one of these services like Replicate, you can actually make 10,000 images in 20 seconds. So the question obviously becomes, how do you narrow down the subset of those images that are good? And I'll walk you through a process that lets you narrow it down. But basically, this is a parallel call to Flux. They have an aspect ratio, so the way Replicate internally represents the aspect ratio is with a string like 16:9. And then I'm just creating a thread pool executor over a function. So I have this Flux function, which does the actual call to replicate. But basically, it takes a list of prompts, which can be arbitrarily long. It could be 10,000 prompts. It basically creates aspect ratios for each of those, and then it creates Lora arguments for each of these. So in my case, my Lora is going to be Jeremy, but it could be whatever your Lora happens to be of. And this is an example of one of the prompts that I use. And I scale it out by making a random int call to the set of outfits. So it'll pick a random outfit with every single call. This can be done for the setting, this can be done for the type, but yeah, I just call my Lora. I put in 6 or 7 photos of my face. So here's the big idea. Generate clip embeddings. So this is the embedding generation call. It takes the folder that I'm dumping all of these replicate images into, and it creates a clip embedding for each of them. And then over it, you train a regression model. So this regression model goes to the folder, this Flux folder that contains all of my data, and it loads them into a huge list of images that are sort of to be ranked. And it creates a dictionary to map them to one another. It loads the embedding data that I created with the last call. And then basically I organize the data into X and Y, where Y is the rankings that I've created through this little interface, 0 to 10, where X is the clip embedding of all of the data points. And then I train a linear regression model. So I split in X test, X train, Y test, Y train. This is just from scikit-learn, the linear regression model. I call fit, I call predict. And here predict is the 10,000 images that I generated, so that it can efficiently reorder that with just say 5 to 10 labeled images. So basically, I get an error score on the whole that data, and then I create a column, which is the predictions, which I put into a huge data frame of all of the generated examples. And then inside of the interface, I can load the images on the basis of their regression ranking. So basically, images that get a higher rank. So in this case, this was ranked 14.3 out of 10. This was ranked 12.4 out of 10. The images that get a higher rank get shot to the top. The images that get a lower rank are just ignored by the system. Yeah, so yeah, you load it on that ordering, and then certainly you can continue to add your rankings, but you can also just take those images as being high quality and do whatever you want with them. And then as you're using the system, it's ordering these things by ranking, and when you rank a new thing, it trains a new linear regression model, and reorders the images, and then shows you the new set. And so basically this is how we update the model upon a new ranking coming up. And so I claim that this generative modeling plus ranking is a huge advantage. So if you're a business owner and you have a bunch of social media images that have tons of likes, you already have a ranking system which is externalized, which you can use to order all of the generative images of your product. And so you have a way to basically turn this image generation pipeline into a quality pipeline instead of just having it be a random pipeline. Similar story for influencers. So if you can turn 10,000 unranked photos into photos that are rank ordered based on your personal preference or based on all of your followers, because you have all of the data of the images that they chose to rank, then you can basically turn these generative pipelines into quality pipelines. If you want to create an ideal representation of yourself, you can pick the images of the generator that reflect how you want to appear, want to look, and use it for inspiration. And certainly if you're trying to transfer the complex knowledge of what quality is to another person, giving them a model is better than giving them just a set of words. Yes?
How do you extract the features again for ranking?
It's a linear model. So it's a clip. So
I see.
So yeah, we use clip to embed the replicate generations. Yeah, this is just sort of like iterating over them and calling model.encode from a clip model. Cool. So yeah, you can become a model with the power of generative preference elicitation via regression. Thank you very much.
How many trained, labeled data did you give it?
I gave this about 8 images of me. I can probably show you that actually, if you're curious about what I gave it.
That you ranked from 1 to 10?
I didn't rank the initial images. That was pre-set up the Lora.
How many did you have to rank?
Yeah, for the ones that I showed you, I ranked about 90 images, and then I evaluated on about 10,000 images.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's. Also, I guess I had somewhat of a feedback loop, but these were the images that I gave the model. Yeah.
Two questions.
Yeah.
One, you mentioned the X and Y graph, which then fed into your linear regression. So one was the clip embedding, and the other you said was the ranking that went through the interface. I probably just missed something you said earlier. Was that manual or something?
So the XY was just the inputs to the linear regression model that trained a model which I could use to basically score all of the unranked data points.
Oh, okay. Was one part of it manual?
The manual part is I went in the interface and I clicked rankings, and every time I click a ranking, it reruns the linear regression model, which reorders the images.
Oh, okay, you didn't have to assign it an initial ranking, manual for each.
The initial ranking is random, so I guess.
Oh, okay, all right.
In the interface, you can basically go show unranked images. There are a bunch of these. So these don't have any rankings, and it starts looking just like this. Nothing is ranked.
Number 2, how long have you thought about this and worked on this?
I thought of this for a long, long time, back in 2000, I'd say. But I didn't have any high quality generative modeling.
2000 what?
2020, sorry.
Okay.
2000. Yeah. My bad. But basically there's no generative modeling. So now that I have Replicate, I can generate 10,000 images with the Lora. So it's kind of magical. Cool.
Nice. Simple trainer.
Yeah, shockingly simple, but actually, if you put
the
it
next one is simple trainer.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, correct.
I
So
was gonna say like clipped. I want to compare clip versus like one of the vision models.
yeah, I'm sure you can outperform it. OpenClip is better too. I
Performance
think
is subjective.
what you need is signal more than anything.
Yeah.
But is what it is. Okay, simple trainer. Use self-recorded video for training. Let's hear it for Wayne.
So this idea is pretty straightforward. It's actually, I got this idea in this morning when we were only have 60 seconds to start the file and replica training for ourselves. And then we kind of need to go through a lot of picking the photos of myself. So the idea was, oh, why don't I just record a video of myself and then use those as the training images. So here's the demo. I basically start with a self-recording of my face with 360 degrees, and then use the video to chop with every timestamp, every second, chop an image from the videos, and use those as the training data source. So I already trained a model on replica, so using those 7 images, and so let's see the results.
You're training right now?
No, I already trained it because I think training is gonna take a long time. So yeah, so that's it. That's the demo.
Are video frames too grainy? That was always my worry.
Huh?
I was actually thinking about running Magnifique in Loop because the image frames from videos typically are much grainier than proud photos.
Oh, you mean the qualities?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So you're worried about the quality of the video?
Most video, yours seem very good. I don't know why actually. Maybe it's high quality, like 1080p or something.
Yeah, I'm using iPhone like just self-recording.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Is it possible to try this with someone else, but would it take too long?
Yes, because we have to input all that to the training and then have a model. Yeah.
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 Did you try doing anything with the rotation of your head? Like, if you
rotation my head?
Yeah. Like you could get it to try to like do one with you looking down or something. I guess just with like the additional part.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think in the video I tried to like.
Right.
Oh, I only looked at like a couple directions. Yeah, I can try like the full rotation of my face.
Yeah, just a I love this concept of video as having higher quality LoRa data than just images.
Yeah. Every frame is valuable for style.
Exactly.
Cool.
Thank you.
That was Simple Trainer. Up is MagicPoster.ai by gyani. See yourself in favorite movie posters.
You did. I don't know where to go on the site. Where's this? This one, right? General? I think I'm in a different site.
Hey folks, I'm Gyani. I flew into SF 2 weeks ago, left my job to see what the vibe is about. People told me good things about HA House, so I thought I'd come here. Thanks for hosting, Jeremy. So we have MagicPoster.ai. On the right, if you scan the QR code, you can try it. On the left, you can buy it. If you can't scan the QR code, the URLs are right here. Just for today, you will get 50% off because from tomorrow it's $20 per person. And just for today, I mean for the week actually, if you don't like any of the posters, let me know what's your favorite movie and I'll get it to work for you. So how does this work? We use FAL pretty heavily. So we take your images and we train it on FAL. Sorry, we give it to Flux and then we train it. Then we use segmentation provided by FAL to mask your images. Honestly, I did the first 5 masking on my own and then I talked to Burki and he said you can actually use the API, which is pretty neat. Then we in-paint you into the movie posters. And because we're in-painting, we don't have the Dan Bilzerian problem. The backend is pretty simple, it's streamlit and it transferred free on the cloud. So we have revenue, that's amazing. So we have $20 in revenue. Yashwini was our first customer. Thank you, Yashwini. Burki also paid for his generation. Thank you, Burki. And that's infinity% growth day over day. Again, try on the right, buy on the left. The QR code's right here. This is me as Fight Club. I'm Tyler Roden in this one. This is Burke, the founder of FAL, as Furiosa in Mad Max Furiosa. This is Jeremy. This is Swix in One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest and Wolf of Wall Street. This is lousy Matt Damon in Wolf of Wall Street. This is Sam Altman in Painted in Godfather. What's next? So we use the API for segmentation with the GPT-like interface. So at the moment, I initially opened GIMP, learned how to use GIMP and did the masking, then I started using the API, but I can probably make people put any poster up there so I don't have IP issues as well, and they can just select the person they want to become and they can mask it automatically perhaps. Allow people to bring any poster that they want so they don't have to use IP. Use GPT to caption an image so that the prompt for in painting is not generic. I'll show you the code later. At the moment it's a very generic prompt per poster. And at the moment it's based on goodwill. Right is try, left is buy, but ideally it's behind a stripe line. So this is inspired by Photo AI by Levels.io. So that's me. I'll show you the product now. We'll start some training first. I'll click on browse files. I download some pictures of Elon Musk. We can do this. Oh, no, that's wrong. Sorry, I am being nervous. We do this. Sorry, let's do it again. Elon Musk. Sure. We send it to FAL for training. Training should have started now. It's running here. I think some other people are using as well. That's pretty good.
I tried, but it says training failed.
What's his training failed? Yeah. Interesting.
Mine is still in ours.
It's a pretty cheap server on the back end. Maybe it can't handle multiple concurrent calls. But this is I did some training with Jeremy earlier, and this is his. These are his weights on Lora. This is him in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I should probably ask permission prior, but this is him in Fight Club. This is him in The Godfather. This is him in the Oppenheimer movie. This is him in Wolf of Wall Street. This is him in The Matrix. This is him in Mad Max. This is him in Pulp Fiction. That's me in the same movies. I tried making it give me better hair. I couldn't get it to do that. I wanted a full head of hair in the Flux generation. Couldn't get it to do it. If I find out how to do it, I'll tell everyone. That's me again. That's a pretty good generation. This doesn't make sense. This is Sam Altman in all of these pictures. This is pretty good. I think the masking on the Wolf of Wall Street image is pretty good, and that's why the end painting is solid. Sam Altman again, we can skip this. Swix. This is pretty good Swix.
None of it really is the in-painter.
Sorry?
In-painting is really the limitation, right?
Yes, I did it manually, but I think there's this, Burke told me about this at the end, where you can just give it an image, give it some coordinates, and it'll in-paint it for you.
Yeah, Sam too.
Which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's him in Furiosa, that's him in Pulp Fiction. this is still training. Let's let that happen. I guess it takes a while. What can I show you till then? This is the tweet. It's pretty good. This one goes on Bumble. We have some likes coming in, which is pretty nice. This is the Stripe dashboard. Let's see if someone paid in the interim. So we have 2 people paying during the revenue. The other things are just me trying random things. I can show you the code, I guess. So I use cursor pretty heavily, but at the end, I started using VS Code because I just wanted to type something without it generating anything. So we mask the image. So we basically use file pretty heavily and we use requests. I basically gave cursor the documentation of file and it started generating code for file for me because cursor does not know about file just yet. It takes the image, it base64 encodes it because I was being lazy to figure out how to upload it actually. So it takes the images, it zips it for you, it uploads it, it lets the training run, and when you generate the images, it does something similar. Wait, where did it go? When you generate the images, it does something similar. It just base64 encodes everything and sends it to file, and that's how it works. As I said, at the moment the prompt is pretty generic, so it says a photo of recovered in painted into the image with the same expression in pose. Talking to Burki at the end, he gave me a good idea. I could basically give it. I could basically give the image to ChatGPT and say, explain what's going on, and it will say that Uma Thurman is lying on in the poster, and we could probably change the prompt that way. Let's see if Elon happened, or is that still ongoing? Elon's still ongoing, 95%. I guess I can keep. How much time do I have? I'll just keep talking. Okay, thank you. So yeah, right. Because I'm using very basic things, I'm using Streamlit, I'm using requests and pretty standard libraries, I was able to generate a lot of this. I didn't have to write much of it, so cursor was pretty helpful. I have my API keys here, otherwise I would have made this open source. I'll delete this immediately and share it with the community.
How are you doing payments?
How am I doing payments? So it's Stripe. I have a Stripe account. I don't have a business or a sole proprietorship set up. But I can do this, so I can do product catalog, movie poster creator, and then I do pricing, and I can say one-off USD 5 extremely cheap just for the night. And then we go here. We create a payment link. We go to payment link, and then we create a payment link. So, and you can just use this now. If you're signed in, you can just pay pretty quickly.
So you just paste it into the Streamlit paid version?
The Stripe?
Yeah, how did you integrate it in the paid version?
Oh, in the paid version, I think I'll just implement Stripe checkout and I'll use probably Flask or something in the backend instead of Streamlit, so that I can do the entire session, and then when the payment goes through, I'll generate the images. Elon should be done. Amazing. Hopefully that's Elon. Wait, where did this thing go? Cool. Let's generate images. Moment of truth. Okay. So. Wow. Fight Club. I think I should share this with him. Maybe he likes it. I think 3 more and then we're good. Nice. Oh, that's pretty good.
You should share this one. Go live.
That's what you share. Make sure.
I'll just save this one. I should probably add like a download all button. At the moment I'm selecting the images individually and downloading it. That's pretty annoying.
I think we gotta keep moving.
Thank you so much. Again,
try to get Elon to retweet it.
I'll do that. Thank you. Try on the left, buy on the right.
so much. Very cool. Did anyone get it to work themselves though?
To work this one?
Yeah. Any real time successes? Okay.
Oh, computer notebook?
I was just asking because I thought someone might have gotten it. So.
No, I tried, but
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff, dude.
Thanks
Good
much.
stuff. Yeah. Okay. So at Jamari Wyatt party. Jamari Wyatt.
Yep. Jamari Wyatt Party Style. That's the name of the project. Be at the party. So basically, you just say something you've seen at the party, seen at one of my crazy parties. That's what the tool does. Because what I do is I take photos. Me, creative technologist, developer, and photographer. So 2 of the events that I trained off of are from one of the crazy events. One was at a hidden place. The other one was just like a normal event. But examples of things I've done, like I've worked with Travis Scott, Larry June, he's from out here, collective card no menu. This is one of the ones that was trained off of actually this style. So like a lot of my photos have a certain style to it. So as we all know, this works really well if someone has their own style. So let's show you an example. And this is live. Shout out to Vercel. And I guess let's start the underground. Just tell me something you saw at my party.
You saw at any party?
Or just what just name something random you saw my party just say you did, like something crazy though.
Bilzerian making out.
Give me a person, like something like a thing maybe.
Yeah, grinding and stuff.
Taking shots with Travis Scott.
I'll just say some people taking shots. I don't know how this will work actually, because I just did like items.
Yeah, does it know Travis Scott? Does it know celebrities?
No, it wouldn't. That's why I just did that. I didn't.
Okay.
The stuff trained off of was just like my style. And then so this one is gonna be underground party. I clicked it. It doesn't show as well as it does on the phone when you click it. But what it does is it's two different models. One with file, one with replicate. So it's kind of people taking shots. Yeah, a little bit. And then this event was called a Rave at the Cave. So I trained this model off of all the photos from the Rave at the Cave. So it was probably about 85 photos. I will say that file is quicker than replicate when it comes to this, but I do like how it does it. And so like all my photos, if I were to keep doing this, you'll notice these will all be in the cave, and they all will have this vignette because I use a fisheye. So let's just do another one to show you that it does recognize.
Oh, so when you say underground, you mean in a cave?
It was okay. You know sutra baths.
No, but
yeah.
Literally, this was from the sutra bath. So this
which cave rave was this?
This was. I can tell you how long ago it was. Give me 1 second. This was February 11th.
I think I was there.
I was in there taking photos, bro.
Wait, do you know what? Did you see the guy who what was it? He took some drugs and he passed out.
That wasn't ours. We didn't have that problem.
And then he came back up and he was like trying to commandeer the DJ stand. You weren't there for that one?
No, that wasn't ours.
Oh, I think that was me.
Yeah, cause we got shut down, but like it wasn't because of that. Like we didn't have any. It was just like the police or whatever came. So seriously, no, that wasn't nice. And it's like we were deep. It's like 5 of us. But let's just say you could do. Just I did earlier. It was sunflower, or I can even do a dog with green hair. I don't have to need this because I was already hard coded back in. And just to show, and it's kind of cool because. I think this could be really useful for like somebody else mentioned, I think so he was like, you do restaurants, if you have your own style, you can kind of like play with it and have a lot of fun. So I'm probably going to build a second Instagram page just to kind of fuck around. Let's give it a second. But you see, so it does do that. It has the cave and it has the vignette, which is my style. So this was I'm maybe going to mix up the found replicate, but then let's just say, just to show you that it's not the same thing, now we would do dog with green hair at the party scene.
So you're using Thal and replicate for the inference part
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I did it for each. I want to try both of them. So one of them uses one, the other one uses the other. And so that's like a dog with green hair. Just so you can see the venue, because so you see this is not the cave anymore, and it still has a vignette. Let's just do the photo. Just do a random one, and I don't know what's gonna pop up. I just know it'll still be there, you know. It doesn't matter. Like, it's trained. This one is cool. Like, you can type in almost anything. Like, I tried the lava lamp. I tried the flowers, and it's like it keeps the style of it. So to me, this is super sick because I'm like new to the AI stuff. Give it a second.
Does take a while, huh?
Yeah, but it's probably just like the connection because this is just a normal API call. It's not the train. This is just a normal API call.
Is that a code boot right now? The
And
replicate
then-
code boot?
Does replicate take a while?
Oh, they have code boots, right?
So does everyone does.
And I was using Hugging Face for one of mine too, actually. I mean, let's see this. Let's click on it and show you. Just not redo it. Oh, it just loaded too. Dang it. My bad. All right, last example, and then okay, still looking for a second ago. So again, the theme here will be the same thing. Red, because that's the training data. That's the bench space, and it has a vignette. So that's the demo. You can check it out at Jamari Party Style Vercel. I put a tweet. It's inside the Slack. But to go on the rest of this, so get me done. Comment features, image to image. So ideally, let's just say, example, you said something crazy happened. Imagine you want to be like, oh, I saw a dragon at Jamari's party. Okay, well, that was just interesting, crazy. But you also maybe do images, which is what I'm thinking. Like, imagine you can put yourself there, and now you're at one of my events, or a business or a location can say you're at our, the Super Bowl's in town. You don't have to be in front of this one thing. They can be inside of a booth. You train it off of that one thing in background. It's kind of the same thing as the green screen, but you can have more fun with it. I want to continue fine-tuning it, so more artistic styling, more location, more references. And I would like people to add their own models so that other artists can then do the same thing I did with the vignette, the fisheye, the different locations. They can do the same thing. So is it usable? Yes. How do I see it possibly being usable as a product? You can say you're somewhere popular. That's like a popular event in time, so not just now, but let's say you're at the Renaissance back then. Artists can easily train their own models for creating concepts. I could use this to say like, okay, what would something look like with this style? Just throw it in there without using Photoshop. Popular people and places can basically do the same thing, create using different styles. You can even test your brand with another style. So let's say Nike's like, I like how Jamari shoots, but let's see if it actually matches what we have an idea of. If it doesn't, okay, let's try another person. And then, as the other guy said, restaurants and brands can easily, once trained, you take photos of food. I do this too. If I take 100 photos of the same food item, I can now put that anywhere. Now I don't have to go to this restaurant every month to shoot, 8 dishes. I can just use the same photos, rotate it, move it around. So I'll probably be doing this week. So tech stack, Valor Replicate training for the 2 different events, Next.js for self deployment, plugin face for Valet AI endpoints. And I don't know, you tell me what you think. If there's something I don't know or possibilities how we could do this, you can reach me, Jamari Wyatt, Jamari.Wyatt. That's the website, and my GitHub is split backwards with 3 Fs.
Split.
Is there an award for best slides? Most creative slides?
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
We have to keep. So let's hear it for an Ernest Young presentation on AI Instagram photos.
Hey, what was the Asian mic cable? Was it here?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you. So this is Jeremy Nixon's exact idea, which was for
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Thank you. Let me try to roll up here. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. Instagram, grab those photos, prompts, put in a train of LoRa on it, then do inference. So I got to the part of images and prompts. Thank you, Jeremy, because of InstaLoRA, and I got InstaLoRA working. For prompts, I figured I'd just use what was in FAL because what I noticed was they ran a llama or another model to then generate the captions. And where I got lost was around here, unfortunately, to train the Loras because I couldn't use the FAL API to then feed it directly in there. So what I ended up doing is just going onto the FAL website, just throwing the images there manually, and then downloading the saved tensors. But from there, I was able to generate the images. So a couple things I just wanted to demo, which is, this is aggressively big. So I was able to write a YAML file to configure what Instagram public post profile, and as I was doing it, I noticed as I was working on it, I noticed that if you set a timeout, you shouldn't have any problems hitting the Instagram and grabbing all those photos. So maybe one thing that could help if you're getting rate limited, unfortunately, is like maybe set a timeout, or just to work on profiles with less amount of photos. So, you know, I got there, couldn't get the GUI part of it, but once I downloaded the Lora, for example, downloaded Lora, so we can take an example of this gentleman's Instagram. And then once I downloaded Lora, I was able to generate some pretty cool photos. So you notice he's a DJ, and then I was trying to give prompts to make it, you know, generate like, maybe he's too tired and just wants to generate like a fresh new poster. And this is just running locally with, you know, the very limited amount of time. If you run these models long enough, you can get a little bit better accuracy. But I just put in literally in my prompt, like December 12 at level 8, presenting Rick Silver. That was pretty cool. And that's part of the beauty of Flux, is that like I literally didn't prompt for this, but it made something pretty cool that kind of fit the vibe. This is for you. And so, and the only thing else I just wanted to emphasize was, let's see, a few notes. Number one, some observations. Okay, we've done a great job like training our Lora, like, that's specific to our needs. You can also remember to load other Loras that will work on top of it. So for example, like with a YAML file, not only the Loras that are trained for the Instagram profiles, I also applied multiple Loras on top of that to try to get it to the effect I wanted. And then the only thing I observed that I kind of wanted to point out was that the iter multiplier in FAL was important because for a low multiplier, I wasn't able to get rid of some of the generic features that Flux had in making human faces. But when you bumped up that iter multiplier to 2 or anything higher than 1, then it was like, yeah, all the images really look like that DJ, as opposed to a generic model. All right, thanks guys.
Okay. So we need to keep moving. Let's hear from HairStyle AI Simulator. Your next hairstyle is going to come out of Remi's AI generated pictures. Let's hear it from HairStyle AI Generator.
so there is another screen. Tac. Okay, thanks. So on my end, so I'll try to be quite fast. So I work on HairStyle with Flux. So the idea is that people really pay attention to the way they look and the way they are perceived. And what if we can just have like a prompt, and then from that you upload a picture of you, and then you can try different hairstyle. So this is what I did here. So I get some funny stuff. So basically, I created a synthetic, I created a dataset with I just took some picture of me, and then I tried to have several hairstyle. So I used some specific token. I just represented one hairstyle here, but I tried with 3 actually. And then using some prompts, I said, okay, I want a picture of me with this kind of hairstyle. And yeah, these are some of the results we have. So I also did like a web interface using fast HTML, which is quite good. So you can enter your prompt directly. And these are the stuff we get. So yeah, I had some fun doing that. Can do that. So it's funny, we get like some weird pictures from time to time, but it's very nice. And the idea is that you can really visualize how it will look on you. So the final slide is this one. What's next? Right now we need to retrain the model with the human you want to change the haircut. So what would be better would be like to use masks, just like that. To use segment everything, and so that you can just use a generic model trying to like have like different haircuts, and it's going to be faster and 100% realistic, since you will just modify the part of the image which are your hair, for instance. And this is it. Thanks.
Please get my hairdresser a tour.
Yeah.
Is there a demo that we can use, or?
Sorry?
Oh, how do I use it?
Yeah.
Is there a demo?
No, it's not published yet.
Is it Flux model maybe?
Yeah, you have the Flux model. Hit me on Slack and I can send the link.
Last one.
Last but not least,
no.
Instant ads.
Hello everyone. Okay, so okay, so I guess what if it was possible to instantly generate photos or creative assets of any person using any product? I think it's pretty obvious that there's probably a lot of different use cases that something like this could unlock. So today, like, there's a certain amount of friction with any brand working with any person to represent their product. You have to get them in a room, have them take photos with your product, and so if you just think about that entire economy, that like there's probably a certain amount of deadweight loss where at a certain tier of brand and a certain tier of influencer will never create ads together, and there's just like money left on the table for both the creator and the brand. And so yeah, like, so what if it was possible that I could, like, let's say like I'm a CEO of like a brand, or I'm like a brand manager, and I have a product where I could instantly like generate creatives of like 1,000 people on Instagram that are using my product, and then I could automatically DM them and say, here's the photo. Here, if you put it on your Instagram, or if you give me the right to use it, you can have $1,000. Or like, yeah, what if, like, as we browse the internet, we'd just be able to like see like ourselves using, whatever product a company is trying to sell us.
So I think I won't belabor this because it's pretty clear. But I'll just show the end. I'll just show the end results first. So this is so by the way this works is like it's incredible. Like there's just in the replicate model there's actually a way to train 2 different Lora models and then incorporate them into the same output. So you fine tune like so I fine tuned several person models and several product models. So this is like Einstein. There was already an Einstein model, so I used that, and then I took like just some photos of like Corona beer that I found on the internet. Like here's like 6 photos of Corona beer, and then so this is Einstein. Here's this like model, like some Instagram person in Korea that she had like a profile where she had a bunch of photos on the product, and I kind of used her because I think like she had a lot of photos on there, and she just like somehow her results always look like really good. I'd say this is a less good example, but there's a tennis player, Francis Tiafoe, and then I took like I used the InstaLoRA thing and just had like a number of photos of Francis, and then made a model of Francis, and then finally this is me. I think it's less good, but yeah. Okay, then a second use case I tried out was like something kind of harder, and something I do in the future is like, as you guys will see, like the text it'll generate is like some nonsense, but we can kind of see there's like a kind of like it does get the form factor pretty well, and so I think the only thing left to do is just like apply like a masking here where you would take like the actual text. So here's Tiafoe with an RX bar. And then a third example is there's this new like Xiaomi electric car so Xiaomi was this company, they're a Chinese company, they make a bunch of stuff, but they actually recently made like a pretty impressive electric car, and I'll show you the photos that I used. It's just like a blue, just a bunch of these like blue Xiaomi photos. And so we can kind of see some successful examples of these different people using the car. So I think this is pretty cool. Like I wish I feel like if I'd love to like understand how these models work better, and like right now I'm just just using that like what they offer to combine it. But I think if someone like actually like understood how to like take like 2 different things and really bring it together, you could have a very high quality image creatives, because this is just like super unengineered. And then next steps, like obviously you can build like a kind of an app. Like this is what I was building, but I just didn't fully get there. Like something where you could load in your products from your Shopify store, and then you could bring just people in from an Instagram handle, use the InstaLoRA thing, and then you would just have campaigns that would be like tons of different photos of the person and the product together.
So
So you can do 2 different Loras?
So you always pair 2 Loras.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys should ask questions or talk offline while we're waiting for the judges. So good stuff.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, that was our final presentation. Our judges from Replicate, Val, and Swix, who's representing the AGI House suite of prizes, can confer on who the many victors will be. So, how long you guys? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? What do you think?
I would just send you my selections.
Oh, you were done?
Yeah,
Oh, no?
just-
Okay, cool.
So,
You guys are good.
was it just
Okay.
normal Lora, or did you use
Crazy
some
good.
painting thing or
Wow.
something?
No, it's straight up Lora. So it's very unoptimized. Like
I'm
completely
so you're,
unoptimized.
oh, cool.
I'm
just a bit. I see. Are you allocating the Thal
I'm
prize?
good.
What? You're allocating the Thal prize as well. You already sent me it.
Oh, what are the Thal prizes? Oh, there's just one Thal prize?
Yeah, apparently.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Do you know who won the rookie prize?
Yeah, wait. Can we have a quick?
Sure. Aye. Sure.
It's nice idea. You would do video, that's pretty good. I think that's all of these. So there's a guy called Levels.io, he's making 120 certain videos, I think. He asked it what sort of. But yours is so easy, yours because it's easy. I don't think so. Rather than finding 20 pictures of myself, I would rather use yours and then
Yeah, so it's like there's just a lot of like.
that makes so much sense. I think 5 people should have it on their UI, the video part.
Yeah, the UI is
He's making $120,000 a month now with Potpourri. Now, he's like very big on Replicate. I think he has a very good deal with Replicate. I had asked him a question earlier, like, what are your margins on this? Because I think on Nomad, with the remote OK, he's only bonus $200 a month. And on this, he says it's still 70%, which is pretty good. 70% of 130K is still a good number. Every month. Escher-ifier, she was helping the so people here, I was like, if they won't ask me. Do you know her? I don't know what she is. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's cool. She's new and
when that person's there.
He doesn't go. I feel there's so much. So many things. It's probably not.
Oh, and I'm done.
Oh, good, okay.